Writer has a real short bio, but it's pretty interesting. Tom Heneghan, he's a plumber who lives and works in Chicago and practices the art of poetry when time allows. Tom, come up here.
I'll just get right into it.
Go for it.
You'd think someone to write poetry would have more to say every once in a while. All right.
Shortest bio ever.
Yeah. Early Sunday afternoon. Leaves rattle over concrete. A brittle brown wave playing leapfrog as it approaches. Clutching my coat, I abandon all flowers. When they bother with their heads, this is autumn as I know it. Stricken. Approximations are the best one can hope for. It is unlike the brain that can be flagged or mapped, or the orbital yellow moon. It is unlike the meridian where one can say you are close but 5 degrees off course, near to where the waves are breaking. The invisibility of it all is terrifying. You are certain that you placed an item in a certain spot, and now that space is empty of its objects. Something uncoiled unexpectedly, faster than could have been anticipated, to the point that speed has overcome perception. All the animals hate its imminence. It is horrific to be stricken with white. It is humbling to be stricken with white. It is healing to be stricken with white. And over in the subway. The city doesn't know that at one time I ate children, scouring the catacombs of the earth, devouring even the bones. How horrific it all seems to me now, these sins committed so long ago, that they seem the actions of another. How can I make amends? The familiar odor is here, a mix of hydraulic fluid and urine. The fluorescents blink, we sense our own. It knows I am near, but doesn't know which crime will be drawn out. I'll find its ear in the wet pavement, prying a manhole from the street, whispering into it. I know that you have been struck, but no amount of blood will clean that wound, and no amount of souls can sew it shut. You never need kill again, not because I am an example, but because examples exist. Not because I have said so, but because it's been said. This one's called Over and the Ether. Lies stick to the physical, as if it has caloric value. It's worse than that, like cadmium red paint, highlighting the history of your clumsy way, the evidence of which is on light switches in your blouse, a constant reminder of what we desire to change. Opposite proves its other. What you thought endears exposes. Self-loathing is a fatality almost always misdiagnosed. I know the lie your shoes click out on bamboo. It was when I was trying to wash it off you came. The whiskey turned out to be a prodigious lie in the medium of liquid. Still, you should have let me drown. I thought you wore the perfume of truth. Rather, you dabbed ether upon your nape. Oil-born, what was I to do but vanish? Abstract romance. Who knows what the blue ruins mean, or what's beneath the red behind it? More than likely, it's another insignificant scratching of the Creator. When considered thoroughly, it's always more than what's obvious. Something interior says you can no longer speak the way you once did. August revealed itself and its other, confident and beautiful like a god, but flawed in its misplaced affection for its brother, and ultimately a concession to what could be somewhere else in another time had the scenario fallen more gracefully. Being alone but for one in the dark, heat confounds judgment. Perhaps the way the night's arm reaches out for its own eyes propels us. Mad iris, bearded blue, bruised purple, suggestions of sick yellow hinting around the edges, white as a false memory. These are the colors that become us. These are the colors we become. The heap. The party responsible for the deposed accumulation, the heap, is gone. It was long afterward I recall the androgynous shape within. The mind will now remember what to see. You will be found out wearing a yellow shirt and black pants before the school bus. Your dusty patterns of your dress blend into the curtains. Your new shoes cannot be hidden. The defibrillator is obscured by your Charlie Brown t-shirt. Please move. It will not make sense. If we do not make sense of the mess, anxiety will take us. So, there you are. Many years ago, I went to see this dance troupe, the Netherlands Dance Theater. It was quite excellent, and You wouldn't know so from reading my poem, so I hope they never catch wind of this, I guess, really. Netherlands Dance Theater 1. Convinced that dancers make the best lovers, and that voyeurism of the composer accompanies the act itself being dance, I for the first time regret my youth, seeing them move their bodies in ways that until now I had not considered. They will not do with their bodies what is expected, guided in the surprising structure of the unexpected variations, another abstract to be admired or missed. What animal was this to be taught reason? Desire is first withheld, then rotated with cog precision at deliberate speed until its gray delicacy is finally lit. I might hesitate to press my bestial weight upon its back. In the topography of the north, hills of porcelain, smooth depths, I will seek my next spouse, search out the high cheekbone of a new civility. I only request, my friends, you do not let me grow lonely in strange cities. Do not let this become my notice of suicide. But if I cannot be found in the Netherlands, assume I'm dead. Red Nebraska. Slight hills dip and rise in the encroaching daylight. In the impending light, sumac brushes the road. Resting idle after centuries of labor, old farm machinery is the graveyard's hold. Williams and McGreat knew how well red tends the center, it being rain glaze or a brushstroke in the woods. But outward, acre is laid down after acre, as if the blood of hands were raked over its dust. Dense summer waves are absorbed in black tarmac, pushing on like the slow, sure persistence of rust. A tremor is felt from Scottsbluff down to Lincoln, when the small pheasant blinks and breaks almost, tipping the great beam on the small fulcrum. Okay, the last one I have tonight takes a little explanation on, there's a poet, Heneghan, and he wrote a poem in his book, I believe it was Dr. Jazz, which is called The Great Jazz Names, which, if you're into jazz, these guys have great nicknames like Bird and Satchmo and Train and things like that. So I'm afraid I grew up listening to heavy metal. And I love heavy metal, I really do. I like it, I do consider it a great art form, but I do see the humor in that there are grown men running around pretending to be evil. I think that's kind of funny in a way too. So this is kind of a parody, but with much respect to all involved. This is great heavy metal names. Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, Pantera, Suicidal Tendencies, Possessed, The Obsessed, Sodom, Halloween, Clutch, Helmet, Crowbar, Tankard, Torch, Boris, Master, Godflesh, Coroner, Death, Christian Death, Napalm Death, Death Angel, Dark Angel, Morbid Angel, Deicide, Slayer. These arms are snakes, Goat Whore, Goblin Cock, Behemoth, Whitechapel, Sepultura, Faith No More, Entombed, Obituary, and Slayer.